Poquita broma con las luces en este juego. Las orejas no me gustan. Las orejas han invertido poco. Sí, MMO, Access of Creation. Uno de los siguientes grandes hype train que va a venir a Twitch. De hecho, si no lo sabéis, pues este juego de repente dijo, bueno, pues ahora que quiero entrar a la alfa, pues por 600, por el módico precio de 600 euros, le dejamos entrar. Entonces es como un grupo de fans que sacaron un Kickstarter para recaudar dinero y tiene pues muchas cositas como el Lineage y... A ver, este pinta muy bien porque tiene mucho PvP Open World, la verdad, pinta muy bien. Pero ¿qué pasa ahí de...? Como luego íbamos... Es que me parecía un poquito... Para un segundo, me parecía un poquito engañoso Tegrampos. Entonces, como estamos reaccionando al Access of Creation y no es un proyecto que no estamos siguiendo, poner la categoría del stream Access of Creations para que venga la gente engañada me parecía poco honesto. Lo prefiero dejar en el Elden Ring o incluso en el Just Chatting, que...
discussions on our forums, on Twitter, on all the places so that we can get your guys' feedback, because that's why we showcase this stuff.
¿Esta raza tiene nombre, Ive? Me gustaría saberlo, Megro, pero ya es que al final me desconecté. O sea, hace como 2 meses que no entro al Discord de Corepunk porque entraba, leía un poco en diagonal, en plan de vais a... Ojo, terrible tula gasta este hombre, por lo menos... 2 centímetros que los pillase. Ojo, that ass. Ojo, la de horas que mete este señor a Zumba,
a little more realistic direction for textures, and yeah, I think he's looking pretty good into what you envisioned. I hope anyway.
Tatas, totalmente.
No, he's looking great. I mean, this is one of my favorite races actually in our with our different cultures, right? Because it's so
el rollo tribal este que tiene con los tatus, estas como cicatrices, no sé, el concepto me mola, pero esos son los Beck.
That more crouched look, right? That hasn't been implemented yet, but just the model itself is really cool.
Yeah, it's just them sharing right now, kind of with the Kalar. And,
okay, estos son profesores de Zumba, ¿no? Supongo.
Sort of the same geometry and UVs, so we're trying to make things, pretty efficient and intelligently as we go along.
I like the tusks. The tusks were such a great touch.
Oh, yeah. No,
bueno, estar hablando de los colmillos es orcos, orcos básicamente. Los veía más rollo murciélago, la verdad. Pensaba que se iban a inventar un poquito alguna raza, pero... Que al final siempre quedamos un poco en los mismos arqueotipos, pero bueno. O sea, sabía que iba a haber orcos o... Los presentaron en este Drip Stream.
Of course, there's going to be.
Esperad, tengo un cuadro de chat over here.
So one of the cool things about this demonstration today, again, want to preface, this is a first pass on our.
Que ahora la próxima vez que escribáis, digo yo que se verá, si se importó bien. Ahí está. Está bien ahí el chat, gente, os molesta, lo pongo abajo.
A lot of other people who have participated in making our character creator. But from a functionality standpoint, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all the different customization options that are presently available. We're going to talk a little bit about the customization options that have
yet to be implemented. A ver, yo lo que había oído del alfa era que solo podías jugar un mago, un caballero, siempre de la gente pagó 600 pavos para probar menos de lo que se esperaba. Pero a ver, nadie les prometió nada. Supongo, espero.
So keep that in mind as well.
All the prefaces, all the work in progress prefaces. You guys, our core audience who have been following development of Ashes of Creation, you know this. You see our monthly updates as we show you, ongoing
también hay que decir que es un concepto muy fit, ¿no? Para lo que suelen ser los orcos en estos juegos. O sea, normalmente suelen ser mucho más corpulentos, mucho más, ¿no? Aquí es como, no sé. Claro, de hecho ya habéis visto que yo no esperaba que fuesen...
But in order to show off some of these customization options, the VEC aren't quite
there
yet
with
being able to be customized yet in the character creator. We can randomize it, but actually, let's go over to the Kalar. Oh, I love that effects. Jim did such a great job with those effects. So when you switch over, obviously, you see
vale, van a sacar la raza de los hipster.
It also is
puedes hacerlo corpulento. Ah, vale, ok.
You know, if you played the game, you kind of have seen as your character
pues si te haces este personaje, yo creo que te tienes que hacer una barbería en la ciudad.
What is he? He's like almost looks
He's like a Viking.
Yeah, like a Viking cleric or something.
Hombre, tanto como un vikingo.
I love the detail on his face.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Me mola mucho, o sea, más allá de las coñas, me mola las físicas en la barba, ¿vale? Los pelos, cómo se mueven, que no es el acostumbrado a esos bloques tan compactos cuando hacen las texturas de los pelos y las barbas, que la verdad es que me gusta. Quedaría gracioso que si te pusieses algún yelmo, asomasen los pelos por abajo, pero asomasen bien, no de esto que atraviesa y se mueve a la armadura. Y en la zona del cuello de la armadura me gusta mucho. Fijaos cómo está como desgastada, con arañazos, todo.
The loincloth.
The loincloth.
Yes.
Un poco rollo la alianza. En serio, que le den un bocata a los personajes en este juego. Son muy delgados.
Maybe this should be better for for Chris. Where's the physics on this? I would like when I twirl it that the loincloth flares up, you know?
It does have it. I'm not sure if it's enabled right now, but it does. It will flap, I promise.
Están hablando de las físicas, pero si te fijas en la barba la mece el viento, o sea, físicas tienen los modelos. O sea, fijaos en esta parte, fijaos cómo se mueve la barba.
Where would that be? Oh, what is this?
Oye, eso es el paquete, o sea, eso es marcar tula.
That's been a question that the community has asked for some time, actually, whether or not we're going to have certain sliders.
Crotch es entrepierna, o sea, te vas a poder hacer terrible tula,
to come in the future with being able to manipulate aspects of the character, including chest crotch. I don't know about the name crotch.
That could be Grat selection.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Grat and Kobe and Tim worked on the UI side of this for our character creator. That definitely sounds to me like a Grat selection in the wording there. But yeah, no,
I like that he went nice and casual with the booty though. He was like bottom.
El tatu mola, pero está como muy desgastado. El tatuaje que tiene aquí en el pecho.
I know, but I just think it's funny that he went
izquierda, que probablemente es vuestra derecha.
Bottom.
So now some of
bueno,
these,
es la derecha del personaje también sea vuestra izquierda porque estáis viendo el monitor igual que yo, que soy imbécil.
In here we can adjust height and weight.
Vale, lo de la altura y la corpulencia en un juego que va a ser de acción, que va a ser de target, va a ser... No parece que se les ha ido mucho la pinza, ¿vale? Por lo típico que te puedes hacer personajes ridículamente pequeños. Porque en juegos donde es... donde es hacer clic y tirar los hechizos, pues mira, te haces una macro y a correr.
The weight entitlement system for how those inputs affect the bones is actually something that Zach worked on more.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a bone by bone basis on a per race and per gender basis. So
now people who don't know what bone is, Zach, can you tell them a little bit about what a bone is?
Por el lore está restringido, igual que no habrá pelos de colores y por lore no. Ah, ok. O sea, si la raza por lore no es excepcionalmente grande o pequeña, no la puedes hacer excepcionalmente grande o pequeña, entiendo. Hombre, eso igual fuerza un poco al tema de los típicos tweaks, pero bueno.
Skinned or weighted to that bone will move the same way that bone does in a proportion to the weight with that bone and that vertex. So if you scale it up, it makes all of the vertices around it scale up. And one thing that Chris does very frequently is he'll go in and like touch up the skin weight so that the vertices.
Me ha contado Ide que liberará antes del juego el creador de personajes para que te puedas hacer el personaje.
really tweaked that and got something
Si
that
le
looks
acaban
pretty good
poniendo
for the
valores
larger weights
numéricos,
too.
¿vale? Si estas barras de aquí, en lugar de simplemente poder arrastrar por aquí, ponen un número en plan 87, 89, seguro que salen páginas de hacerse personajes, de decir, pon, yo qué sé, los huesos de la mejilla 77, la barba 80, y que te vas a hacer cualquier personaje. Es una manera de generar comunidad que a mí me parece bastante curiosa y que está guay.
Just from like one standard mesh, you know. A lot of times some character creators,
Vale, aquí un poquito estamos viendo lo que había comentado Isbe, de que por lore los colores tienen cierto rango. No se podrá hacer así por número. No, ya, por eso, pero que digo que... Que no se va a hacer así, yo de hecho ya se ve, pero que bueno, que juegas un poquito más y bueno, al final pones un pantallazo y sabes que más o menos... Pero fijaos cómo cambia el personaje muchísimo, o sea, me gusta este pelo ya ahí me pincha un poco, pero bueno. Mejor de lo que suelen ser, pero lo sigo viendo un poco tosca. También esto creo que sigue en alfa, o sea que... Lo que digo siempre, tengamos en cuenta que...
making holes for armpit hair in all the armor. No,
This is going to be quite the authoring. Hey, I guess
va a haber personajes muy pintorescos, por lo que parece.
Not, right?
True, fair.
Yeah, and I love the hair customization you're on right now.
Oh, I do too. I love
that you can change the length.
Yeah. I really haven't seen that actually very much in many character creators.
Fijaos que solo tocan el pelo y parece una persona completamente
It'd be cool
diferente.
That over time, when you're in game, you have to get a haircut because your hair grows out.
Oh,
especially with like all the combinations of your cheek like hair, your chin hair, your lip hair.
I like
really
the
fijaos como tiene canillas en el bigote.
Different options that you can kind of touch on, right? Look at the variance in just the lip length. Like that is pretty cool, because in a lot of other character creators that many of us probably have experience with, right? These are presets that you choose. You don't really get to manipulate the preset itself. Like I would choose this super long length, mustache
or the short one,
or the short one, and I wouldn't have the variance in between that I could customize.
Y bueno, la verdad es que están diciendo que dentro de los presets que te dejan personalizar mucho, que no es solo esta barba con esta longitud, sino que puedes jugar mucho. La verdad es que está guay.
Extra parts of the character pipeline that we didn't quite have nailed down yet, and these guys have really flushed everything out, and it's really cool to see. I mean, I think we all get mesmerized by this thing every time we play with it.
And we've been talking about letting people customize each eye separately.
Ojo, lo puedes hacer ciego.
Be a question that comes up
bueno, eso ya no es ciego.
But right now we don't have that feature in.
Yeah.
There's still so much more left to do.
There's a lot.
Because having one blind-looking eye would be sick.
Absolutely, or different colors, 100%.
Yeah. Me flipan, o sea, es que fijaos los reflejos, o sea, las luces en este juego me están gustando muchísimo, las cosas como son.
I also like that you can adjust the fingernail colors as well.
I want to rotate them.
El color de las uñas, mira qué bien.
You'll have to up the strength of the,
yeah, because you're transparent, yeah. I was telling Steven I want to be able to put like the tattoos on my nails to make nail art.
Va a haber gente que, o sea, va a haber auténticas celebrities en...
toenails too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
En el juego, la verdad.
I love that. Let's see if there's some other presets we can play with. Now you put in.
This guy needs like a trifold hat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He looks like a musketeer.
Yeah, very piratey.
Yeah.
This guy.
Let me see here.
Les pica ponerle terrible tula, que sé yo.
This one's one of my favorites too, because I love the hairstyle. It's cool.
Yeah,
this guy's awesome. Really good on that.
Yeah, the hairstyles are awesome.
Es muy bruto, o sea, fijaos o sea, aparte de los reflejos, no sé si se llega a apreciar, os dejaré el enlace en Discord. La textura de la barba, las zonas en las que mola un montón.
I think of the community, but yeah, she's been leading a ton of the charge on the hair, eye customization stuff while I've been dealing with more of the body.
Ojo que hay
Now let's talk about these. So this is in the
una
appearance
opción
section, right? This is
esculpir
mainly like
que
adjusting
igual nos volvemos muy locos,
attachments to the character, but when we talk about the model itself and we move into things like being able to sculpt sections
Ojo,
of the
ojito.
face or
This is
of the
such a
body,
cool, yeah.
these
Ojo
are
que puedes
areas that you
esculpir
can
por
actually touch
zonas.
up on. So when I grab this and I pull it in a direction,
Ojito.
it starts customizing different segments of the body. Zach, you worked on
A ver,
this.
obviamente no es el primer juego donde se ve esto,
Clayton
pero
and I,
mola
tag teamed on this
mucho
one.
porque deja personalizar mucho. O sea, va a
we
ser
really wanted
muy,
to give
muy difícil
players
que te
that
encuentres con
feeling
alguien
that they were
igual que tú.
grabbing and pulling and sculpting their own character, especially with like more minute details. I mean, it would have been
Más que
easy to
eso.
give like players like 100 sliders, you know, but it feels better to have a much more tactile response than like clicking and dragging and
Ojito,
pulling
¿y
all
esto?
these like points around.
¡Ojito!
I appreciate that I can have the.
Pero
the
y esta
flat
locura y
Filipino nose.
esta...
Yeah, I mean, again, the engineers
Not
did a
every
great
game
job.
allows it, so.
O sea, te puedes romper
Yeah,
la
so-
nariz por 30...
I remember Zach mentioned how much
La cantidad de horas que
we
te puedes
achieved
pegar
through the
haciéndote el
customization
personaje.
features. A lot of that is achieved through what Steven is playing with right now, with these dots that are appearing. And the reason why those are
Coincido, yo hasta ahora el mejor creador de personajes que había visto era el de Black de ese, pero reconozco que este es mucho más potente.
Adjustment tool.
Yeah.
O sea, es que con tantos
Plates are used
puntos,
for
ojito,
moving things
ojito,
around, and it sort of maps
ojito el
exactly
SEAT
to
con
your
las puertas
input, and that's
abiertas.
why that pick map or the plates feel so nice. But then you can click on those dots and drag those around and actually change the shape of a feature altogether.
Mhm.
En el Cyberpunk dos
You go
tipos de
from
pito,
Tense
claramente.
eyebrow.
Cheeks and make them bigger, smaller.
Puedes
change the location, and then
elegir
you can go
puerto
in and
USB
find
o
the
USB-C,
actual
¿no?
shape of it using those dots.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, I was just saying they've really spent a lot of time, I think, sort of getting the feel right. You know, we've all been playing with it till it felt kind of intuitive or kind of easy to use.
Es que ya estoy viendo el típico troll que se va a poner
It's-
va a coger
watching
cada
the
puntito de
progress
estos y va a
over
tirar
just
de este
the
para
last
aquí, de este
weeks
para acá
has
y
been
le va a salir
unbelievable.
un
I'm
amorfo de las
excited to see
cavernas
the backlog
que
of
para
features
ponerle
that
una
are
bolsa
going
en la
to be
cabeza.
incorporated as, you know, we move forward with the character creator beyond Alpha 2. But if you guys, you know, are, like I said, our core audience that kind of watches our development just from Alpha 1 to Alpha 2, this
Un
is an
Nosferatu,
entirely
totalmente.
different thing, right? Alpha 1 was something where, you know, we had a number of preset options.
Pues la raza
very
esta de
limited.
los
There was little to no manipulation
de los orcos, los Bok, te pones las pupilas ciegas y ojito que puede ser que tengas que mirar debajo de la cama antes de echarte a dormir después de jugar,
And that's really cool to see. One of the other things that's interesting about this, and you know, a lot of people sometimes beg the question, you know, you only spend so much time in a character creator, right? Like that's your initial experience. A lot of people when they're trying to get into the game.
Están hablando de que la gente pasa mucho tiempo en el creador de personajes. Hay gente que no, yo desde luego suelo invertir bastante tiempo.
But the cool thing about this character creator is that it's not just intended for your character, right? It has application with NPCs that you might hire, that our design team might leverage this tech in
Joder, qué guay, ¿no? O sea, vas a poder personalizarte los NPCs que puedas contratar. Brutal.
Just humanoids, right? Zach or Clayton, you guys want to talk about that?
Y aquí el botoncito de guardar. Para...
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to use similar tech for implementing things like animal husbandry or even just for creating creatures. I have some tasks slated for myself to implement something similar to what I did for characters, but for creatures. And yeah, tooling is a big focus for us. I'm making sure that designers have everything that they need to build the game with a lot of variation in the content.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time just working out the tech for this. So it'd be nice to use this tech in other areas of the game when applicable, whether that's the husbandry system, or any more customization points we give players in the future.
I would also like to add that we are not sacrificing a lot of
el tatú.
runtime computational efficiency for this.
for your character, right? It has application with NPCs that you might hire, that our design team might leverage this tech in order to create, marquee characters. It also has some application outside of just humanoids, right? Zach or Clayton, you guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, so we're going to use similar tech for implementing things like animal husbandry or even just for
bueno, la cría de animales sabíamos que iba a estar.
I have some tasks slated for myself to implement something similar to what I did for characters, but for creatures. And yeah, tooling is a big focus for us, and making sure that designers have everything that they need to build the game with a lot of variation in the content.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time just working out the tech for this.
So es que con esto podrían hasta dejar. O sea, imaginaos la locura y lo que molaría. Fijaos cómo, hostia, lo arrastra. Va, lo del tatu es muy tocho, Lo del tatu es tochísimo.
We are not sacrificing a lot of runtime
lo del
computational
tatu
efficiency
es
for this. We
tochísimo.
are making sure that optimization is always at the forefront of these decisions.
Me parece brutal.
I was doing a lot of the optimizations that we shared a while back with
imaginaos
the
si
simulated
pusieran en este juego la profesión de escultor,
just the early
¿vale? O para el housing y tal, que pudieras entrar
in a lot of these features
en este modo
y
hacer tus esculturas. La locura que sería.
The first couple weeks was just spent making sure that
Ojo,
this is
tatuaje de una
viable
chancla.
for an MMO, because you really don't see this type of large scale and this detail of characters with this level of customization in any game, regardless of a large scale MMO. So we had to do a large amount of due diligence and tech to make sure that it can actually work.
Yeah, I think that if you look at how, like, the facial hair, we broke that into slots. Like, that's an obvious example where we're achieving a lot of variation by breaking those into components that you can select individually and build your own combinations, where it's not possible for a lot of other games.
Brutal, las cosas como son.
El
creador de personajes,
those materials with our Udemy slot pooling solution.
And to Steven's point earlier, when we had our sort of very limited character creator, in our previous versions, this really is, I mean, you're able to do sort of what my job is, which was I was just making variants of characters to sort of put in, and now the players can do it. It's just really cool to see come together.
For the tattoos, you should show that you can change the color too of the.
Oh yeah.
Because I think you were showing the tattoos, which is cool, but
tiny UX features, which is just being able to click on a tattoo and drag it anywhere on the body. It's such like a good feeling experience that.
Hombre, si te puedes poner el tatuaje donde te sale de la breva, creo que lo de cambiarle el color sería de lo menos preocupante que.
Being able to like manipulate it on the character just feels
es que como encima te puedes poner el mismo tatuaje. Ya.
Yeah, I mean, it's the benefit
te puedes poner el mismo tatuaje en dos colores porque entonces te puedes hacer como una sombra, o sea, puede ser una auténtica locura.
Yeah. And another one of our core tenets is reusability of these tech features. And you can see that we have scars and tattoos available in this decal system. A lot of those are using the same technology to drive it. And a lot of the details that you'll be able to place on the character, we're reusing the technical features that we've solved to implement more features for you.
He's got
most of the hard work is done in regards to tech.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to find like a nice little place for the scorpion.
Teardrop, the scorpion teardrop.
The scorpion teardrop. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, it's cool. That's pretty cool. I love that. I love it. All right, let's talk about a little bit. Let me see here.
¿Qué más sorpresitas hay?
The scars.
Oh, the scars. Yeah, let me play with the scars. Where do I get
He was messing around with it earlier when you guys were nerding out.
Oh yeah, talk to me a little bit about the scars, Clayton, because I know you did a lot of work on that front with Chris.
Yeah. So
sí, bueno, pero...
it's using mostly the same system as the tattoos, but it's using a little bit more texture detail. And yeah, it still uses the same direct manipulation.
Me cómo se adapta la textura de la cicatriz, está muy
manipulating. But basically, it's just adding some bump detail and some like roughness and metallic, and it has all this information that Chris worked really hard on.
Lo digo porque esta parte
show
le queda
three-dimensional information on the character, and you can sort of just place that wherever.
Como media hora, quizás es
It's always
mucho.
a fun process too, working with Clayton and Zach, because they're great at giving feedback.
Entonces no sé si saltar un poco a la parte de que hacen Asmongon o si hay algo que a lo mejor dices, no, es que quédate porque merece la pena.
We end up getting pretty much where I think everyone wants us to be.
And you,
No, yo
Steven.
creo que vamos a
There's gonna be a
saltar.
ton of you and a ton of people making you in game.
No. This actually looks great. I hopefully, excuse me. Hopefully, Asmund likes this little rendition of him.
It looks cool.
It does look cool.
Kind of creepy how realistic it is too.
All right, let's talk about blending. So explain to me a little bit about the blending mechanic.
Yeah, so blending is a little bit more, it's not so in-depth, especially for those players that don't want to spend, time adjusting each angle of
ojo que puedes mezclar modelos.
This is more of a large-scale macro tool that you can select a couple, presets, and then you can get certain features from one preset or different features from another
Me parece
preset.
muy interesante, la verdad.
So you place down your presets, and then you can click and drag and morph between those different presets.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how many options and ways you've given the player to mess with this character.
Oh,
This would be cool for like a family. So when you're creating NPCs and you want them all to be similar, like you make a mom and dad, and then it'd be interesting.
Yeah, so you're taking features from each preset and you're making something completely new out of it.
Oh, that's looking great.
So weird.
It's freaking awesome. I love this. So you can add as many as you want and kind of pull between them, huh?
Not as many as you want. I think there's a max at some point.
Me hubiera molado también que hubieran puesto un personaje femenino, pero bueno. Por ver también
For
opciones.
UI purposes.
Sí, no, pones varios y vas rotando un poco entre...
That's so cool. It does give me the... it gives me hope for the system I will not name, but...
Vale, voy a avanzar un poco.
Plenty of hope. I'm the only one that's...
I wouldn't mess with that guy.
Ojo, cómo mola este.
Seems creepy.
Give him some more wrinkles.
So now...
That's through the... Cool to see the tusks.
Ah, mira,
change whenever
personaje
you get
femenino.
randomized.
Yeah,
Ah.
I love that so
Yeah.
much.
Y una de las dudas que tengo es si será otro juego de... donde un sujetador cubra lo mismo que una armadura completa o si las armaduras serán realistas.
Exciting.